Few names in history carry the weight of Julius Caesar. More than 2,000 years after his death, his legacy still echoes through politics, language, and even calendars. He was a general who reshaped Europe, a politician who shattered Rome's old system, and a ruler whose ambition forced the ancient world to choose between republic and empire. Caesar did not merely participate in Roman history, he redirected it. Born in Rome in 100 BC into the ancient patrician family of the Julii, Gaius Julius Caesar did not begin life as a powerful aristocrat. His family traced its lineage to the goddess Venus, but by the time Caesar was born, that divine ancestry meant little in practical terms. The Julii were respected but not wealthy, influential, or dominant in Roman politics. In fact, being patrician in the late Republic could be a disadvantage, since some of the most powerful political offices were reserved for commoners. Rome itself was in turmoil. Decades of foreign conquest had filled the city with wealth, corruption, and inequality. Small farmers had been displaced by war and economic change, while the Senate, controlled by a narrow elite, struggled to govern an empire that now stretched across the Mediterranean. Violence, bribery, and political paralysis had become normal. It was into this unstable world that Caesar stepped. Early life and political risk. Caesar's youth was shaped by danger. His aunt was married to Gaius Marius, a revolutionary general who had challenged the traditional Roman elite. When Marius's rival Lucius Cornelius Sulla seized power, Caesar found himself on the wrong side of history. Ordered to divorce his wife Cornelia because of her political connections, Caesar refused. The decision nearly cost him his life. He fled Rome, lived in hiding, and served in the army to avoid Sulla's purges. This early defiance revealed a defining trait. Caesar would not compromise when authority challenged his sense of destiny. After Sulla's death, Caesar returned to Rome and began climbing the political ladder. He trained as an orator, prosecuted corrupt officials, and cultivated a public image as a champion of reform. Along the way, he survived one of the most famous pirate incidents in history. Captured at sea, ransomed, then personally hunting down and executing his captors once free. It was an episode that perfectly captured his personality: confident, relentless, and theatrical. Building power in Rome. Caesar's rise was expensive. Roman politics required spectacle, generosity, and public favor, and Caesar financed his ascent through massive personal debt. As aedile, he staged extravagant games that won the loyalty of the masses. As Pontifex Maximus, Rome's chief priest, he gained prestige and influence. By the time he reached the consulship in 59 BC, he was deeply in debt, but politically unstoppable. To overcome Senate opposition, Caesar engineered one of the most important alliances in Roman history, the First Triumvirate. Partnering with Pompey the Great, Rome's most successful general, and Crassus, its richest man, Caesar created a political machine that bypassed traditional checks on power. Together, they dominated elections, legislation, and military appointments. Caesar's reward was command over Gaul. The conquest of Gaul. Between 58 and 50 BC, Caesar led a series of campaigns that transformed Gaul, modern France and parts of Belgium and Germany, into Roman territory. What began as a defensive operation quickly became a full-scale conquest. Caesar faced migrating tribes, Germanic warbands, and fiercely independent Gallic states, defeating them one by one through speed, discipline, and engineering skill. The Roman army did not always have better weapons or numbers. What it had was organization. Caesar exploited divisions among his enemies, fought selectively, and maintained strict control over his legions. He crossed the Rhine to intimidate Germanic tribes, invaded Britain twice to demonstrate Rome's reach, and crushed rebellion after rebellion with calculated brutality. The climax came in 52 BC, when the Gallic leader Vercingetorix united several tribes in a last stand against Rome. After setbacks and heavy losses, Caesar besieged Vercingetorix at Alesia in one of the most remarkable military operations of antiquity. By building massive fortifications to trap the enemy inside while fending off a relief army outside, Caesar forced a surrender that ended organized resistance in Gaul. The victory made Caesar extraordinarily wealthy. Fiercely loyal legions followed him, and his reputation across Rome soared. It also made him dangerous, crossing the Rubicon. The Senate feared Caesar's power. As his term in Gaul neared its end, political rivals demanded he disband his army before returning to Rome. Caesar understood what that meant: prosecution, exile, or death. In 49 BC, he made his choice. Crossing the Rubicon River with his army, a direct violation of Roman law, Caesar declared civil war. The act was irreversible. Rome's political order collapsed almost overnight. Pompey fled Italy, and Caesar seized Rome without resistance. Over the next 4 years, Caesar defeated his enemies across the Roman world, from Spain to Greece to North Africa. The decisive victory came at Pharsalus, where Pompey's larger army was crushed by Caesar's experience and tactical brilliance. Pompey fled to Egypt, where he was murdered upon arrival. By 45 BC, Caesar stood alone at the top of the Roman world, dictator of Rome. Caesar did not restore the Republic. Instead, he accepted extraordinary powers, eventually becoming dictator for life. He launched sweeping reforms, reorganizing debt, restructuring provincial government, expanding citizenship, reforming the calendar, and curbing corruption. The Julian calendar, introduced during his rule, still shapes how the modern world measures time. Yet his power unsettled Rome's elite. Caesar accepted honors that bordered on kingship in a city that had expelled its kings centuries earlier. Statues, titles, and public rituals increasingly placed him above the Senate. Whether Caesar intended to become king remains debated, but perception mattered more than intent. To many nobles, Caesar had become the Republic's executioner, the Ides of March. On March 15, 44 BC, Caesar entered the Senate House unaware that his enemies had finalized their plan. Led by Marcus Junius Brutus and Gaius Cassius, a group of senators attacked him with knives, striking him down in the name of liberty. Caesar died at the foot of Pompey's statue, a symbol of the old republic, killing the man who had outgrown it. The assassination did not save the Republic. Instead, it plunged Rome into further civil wars that ended with the rise of Augustus and the birth of the Roman Empire. Legacy. Julius Caesar's impact is impossible to overstate. His name became synonymous with supreme authority. Kaiser, Tsar, and similar titles all trace back to him. His writings shaped military history. His reforms influenced governance for centuries. And his life marked the point at which Rome transitioned from a republic of laws to an empire ruled by individuals. Caesar was not merely a conqueror or politician. He was the embodiment of a system pushed beyond its limits. Rome created him through its ambition, corruption, and instability, and then destroyed him for reflecting those qualities too clearly. In the end, Julius Caesar did not just change Rome. He forced history to take a new direction, one that the world is still following today. History doesn't end with Julius Caesar. It begins with him. His ambition reshaped Rome, his death sealed the fate of the Republic, and his legacy still echoes every time we talk about power, leadership, and empire. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the man who changed history forever, like and subscribe.